Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's angle measure time. We're going to do some degrees and radian conversion here. This is some pretty straightforward stuff. So let's just remind ourselves that an angle can be measured in either degrees or radians, which is really what we generally work in math classes is radians. There are 2 pi radians in a full revolution and 360 degrees, which really what you can take from that is that means that 1 pi radians would be half of 360, 180 degrees. We're going to convert between degrees and radians, and as long as you know that there are pi radians in 180 degrees, that's all you really need. So if I have 724 degrees, think about this as like a dimensional analysis problem. I want to cancel out degrees, so I'm going to put 180 degrees in the bottom, and I know that there are pi radians in 180 degrees. So this is really just 724 pi over 180. Now you need to reduce the fraction, but leave pi alone. So I'm going to use my calculator here. Let me find my calculator. There it is. And I'm going to say 724 out of 180. And then I can use my calculator to help me reduce that fraction. I'm going to go to math and then use the dash fraction button, and I get this. So this is 181 over 45. So really, this is 181 over 45, and I just need to remember it's pi. 181 pi over 45. Since I converted it to radians, I used pi over 180. If I want to go the other way, if I want to go from radians to degrees, I will think, okay, these are radians. I want to cancel out the radians, so I will put those in the bottom, and 180 pi will be in the top. Usually when this happens, the pi cancels out. So now it's just negative 17 times 180, and then you're going to divide by 3. So this is not 33, just 3. Negative 1020, so negative 1020 degrees. Okay, we'll do one more, and this one's kind of weird. When it says 5 radians, anytime it says like a number but without pi, that messes with people. So let me kind of show you how you can think about this. If it's 5 radians, remember, 2 pi is all the way around. 2 pi is like 6.28 radians. So 6.28 radians is all the way around. So 5 radians is probably somewhere like in here. I would just guess somewhere in the 4th quadrant. It's 5 of 6. So it's somewhere in the 4th quadrant. To get the actual measure, I do the same thing I always do. I multiply by 180 over pi. That way the radians will cancel out, and you'll be left with degrees. So 5 times 180 divided by 5, or pi, 5 times 180 divided by pi gets you 286 point, we'll just say 5. So 286.5 degrees. When you see a number of radians that doesn't have pi, don't let that freak you out. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to multiply by 180 over pi. If you want to convert from radians to degrees, you multiply by 180 over pi. And if you want to convert from degrees to radians, you multiply by pi over 180. That's it. These are called coterminal angles. If you have 2 angles that coincide, their angle measure coincides, we call them coterminal. So we've done this before. If you want a coterminal angle, add 360. If you had a full spin, it doesn't change anything. That's 500. Or you can subtract 360. So negative 220. You can do this all day. You can add 360 as many times as you want. You can subtract 360 as many times as you want. If it's in radians, add 2 pi. So add 2 pi or subtract 2 pi. 0 plus 2 pi, 0 minus 2 pi. Add 360, 390. Subtract 360, negative 330. No big deal. Radians can be a little trickier. It's fractions. So you got to think, what's a full rotation? 12 pi over 6 is 2 pi. 12 over 6 is 2. So I'm going to add 12 pi over 6. 1 plus 12 is 13 pi over 6. 1 minus 12 is negative 11 pi over 6. Okay, so if you add 12 pi over 6, that's 2 pi. Or you subtract 12 pi over 6, you get those two. Last thing here, find coterminal angles. So we're just going to play this game until my answer is between 360 and 720. So if I add 360 once, I get 410. Hey, that's it. That's between those two. This is 11 pi over 6. So I need to make it negative. I'm going to subtract 2 pi. 2 pi is 12 over 6. So this is negative pi over 6. That's there. I can make it a little trickier. So 4 pi over 1 is... If I want to know how many pi over 4s it is, I would think, okay, well, that's 16 pi over 4s. And 6 pi is 24 pi over 4s. So I need this negative 1 to be between 16 and 24. So I'm going to add a whole rotation would be 8 pi over 4s. So negative pi over 4 plus a full rotation, 8 pi over 4. 8 over 4 is 2 whole. So 8 minus 1, that'd be 7 pi over 4. Well, that's not between 16 and 24, so we'll do it again. 7 pi over 4 plus another 2 pi, which is 8 pi over 4. 15 pi over 4. Nope, that's between 3 and 4 pi. I need it between 4 and 6 pi. So one more time. 15 pi over 4 plus 8 pi over 4 is 23 pi over 4. And now I'm between 16 and 24, so that's my answer. So that one's a little bit more work because it wasn't the first time around. It was actually the third time around I had to do it, so a lot of adding. So the main things are you need to be able to convert from radians to degrees and degrees to radians, and then you need to know what coterminal angles are. That's really it for this first part. You do have a math lab that is mostly these problems. The other thing you're going to need to do is watch the arc link. So go ahead and hit that up, and while you're at it, maybe hit that like and subscribe button.